Karibu tena double updates popote pale ulipo mtazamaji wangu. Mimi natumai unaendelea vizuri kabisa. Niite Mr. WJ na kama kawaida hii hapa ni ulimwengu wa siasa. Kuna picha fulani ambayo nimekuja kuiona dakika za mwisho baada ya mkutano ambao ilifanyika Uganda kati ya William Samoei Ruto, rais wa Uganda Museveni pamoja na Raila Odinga. Iko hivi, tangu story hii hapa ya AU inaanzishwa, tumekuwa tukiona movements za hapa na pale kwa viongozi mbalimbali. Wa kwanza ni Uhuru Kenyatta, alienda Uganda, na nadhani kabla ya Uganda alienda Tanzania, na kabla ya Tanzania alikuwa Uganda. Tukamuona Raila Odinga naye anasafiri, na hata leo alikuwa Mabei ikaa anatuambia kwamba alisafiri and sababu kubwa ya kusafiri ni kujaribu tu fikishia ujumbe wapiga kura wengine ambao ni marais wengine wa hapa Afrika. Na stories zimekuwa nyingi sana mpaka serikali yenyewe inaamua na kusema kwamba watamsupport au watamuunga mkono Raila Odinga na mambo kama hayo. So kitu ambacho kilikuwa kinaendelea hapa, na kitu ambacho watu wengi, sio hata watu wengi, hata mimi nilikuwa natarajia mkutano kati ya William Samoei Ruto na Raila Odinga, kwa sababu Raila ndo anapendekezwa kwa sasa hivi. Kenya inapendekeza Raila Odinga. William Samoei Ruto ni mpiga kura kwenye kinyang'anyiro hii hapa, na ukiachana na William Samoei Ruto kuwa mpiga kura, William Samoei Ruto naye kama rais wa Kenya sasa hivi alitakiwa kama kudhibitisha tu kwamba he is good na candidature. Unanipata? Yeye yuko vizuri kabisa na candidate Raila Amolo Odinga. So kitu ambacho watu walikuwa wanasubiri hapa ni mkutano. Yaani mkutano ungefanyika. Lakini mkutano ungefanyika wapi? Unajua, mara ya mwisho kabisa kulitokea taarifa za Raila kukutana na William Samoei Ruto ilikuwa ni huko Mombasa, and mliona stories zilivyokuwa nyingi. Wanakutana privately, nini bla bla bla, stories zilikuwa nyingi sana. Sasa baadaye ikaa nafikiria kwamba hapa kuna uwezekano mkubwa kabisa Ruto naye alikuwa anataka nani? Raila Odinga afike State House, au kama sio State House basi wakutane. Kuna vitu mbili hapo, so it's either wangekutana State House au nje, lakini najua Ruto angetamani State House. But na feel kwa Raila Odinga haingekuwa rahisi. Kwa Raila Odinga haingekuwa rahisi. In fact, kama sasa hivi washasema wana support AU, Raila anaweza kasimama tu, there is no problem. Sio kama unanielewa, Raila hangekubali kwa sababu angeenda huko Ruto aseme na support, watu waanze kusema ndo maana anamsupport bla bla bla. So stories zimekuwa nyingi sana. So mwisho siku I think wakafanya hesabu za haraka wakaona hapa tutafanyaje. So what happened next ni kwamba walitafuta mbinu nyingine tena nje ya nchi, but wakapiga hesabu hapa Afrika Mashariki, I think wakasettle kwa Museveni kule Uganda. But why kwa Museveni Uganda? Number one, I think Raila naye akaja na idea. Unajua yeye mahusiano yake na Museveni sio mbaya, alafu at the same time anatafuta wapiga kura. I mean anatafuta watu ambao wanaweza wakampigia kura. So I think idea hii hapa ya kukutana kule, najua ilikuwa ni ya Raila Odinga. So akasuggest, nahisi wakutane wapi? Wakutane Uganda, kwa sababu naye State House ya Kenya, na kukutana Kenya na ingekuwa ni balaa. Stories zingekuwa nyingi, handshake, bla bla bla, nini, umeamua tena sio kuruka watu. Ruto naye umeamua sio kufanya kitu ambacho alifanya Uhuru Kenyatta. So ku avoid stories nyingi, wakaifanya wapi? Uganda. So kwa nini Uganda? Number one, I think Raila naye alipiga hesabu akaona, okay, nina mahusiano na Museveni, but wewe Ruto una matatizo fulani na Museveni, kwa hiyo unaweza kutumia hiyo nafasi pia kusolve tatizo lako. Alafu number two, tunaweza tukazungumzia nini? Tunaweza tukazungumzia issue yetu ya kuhusu AU. Unanielewa? Lakini number 3, kwa sababu pia na mimi Raila Odinga natafuta watu ambao watanipigia kura, naweza nikapata hiyo opportunity pale na vitu vikawa vizuri. So pale nyie wenyewe mliona kabisa na wote walizungumza. Ruto alipata nafasi ya kusuluhisha mvurutano ambao ilikuwa inaendelea kati yake na Museveni au Kenya na Uganda. At the same time Raila alikutana na miongoni mwa wapiga kura na walizungumza. At the same time Raila naye akakutana na William Samoei Ruto akazungumzia nini? Mambo muhimu kuhusu AU. So naweza nikasema hesabu ilikuwa ni hivyo. Kwa mimi ninachofikiria, haingekuwa rahisi sana kwa upande wa Raila kusema kwamba, kwa sababu kukutana nao wangekutana, but sasa wangekutana wapi? Labda kwenye line za simu, but ni noma. But at least sasa walishakutana Uganda na vitu kama hivyo. So anazungumzia mengi sana Raila Odinga kwenye event ambayo ilifanyika jana and event ambayo ilifanyika kule Homa Bay. Alizungumzia mengi sana kuhusu kitu ambacho kilitokea kule Uganda, lakini kando na Uganda I think alisafiri, ilikuwa ni wapi jamani? Ilikuwa ni Libya au Namibia. Pia alisafiri huko kwa ajili ya kujaribu tu hapa na pale kutafuta ni namna gani watu watampigia kura na mambo kama hayo. So I think hicho no kitu ambacho kidogo kingekuwa nadra sana kwa Raila Odinga au kwa William Samoei Ruto kukwambia. You know, sometimes there are other things ambazo hawezi tu akasema, but ni vitu ambavyo mwisho siku vinafanyika. But sasa kukubalia watu wajue kwamba ilienda hivi inakuwa ni noma sana. Wewe unaambiwa tu kitu ambacho unatakiwa kuambiwa. You can imagine sasa mkutano ungefanyika huku Kenya. Yani, you know, Raila amekutana na William Samoei Ruto, State House ingekwaje? So at the end of the day, Ruto angetamani, kwa sababu naye Uganda hakuwa na mahusiano mazuri na Museveni. So at the end of the day ukiangalia hapa hesabu ilivyoenda, Raila ndo alichangia wakakutana kwa Museveni, kwa sababu huko kulikuwa na mambo mengi sana ambayo wangesolve. But kukutana na labda William Samoei Ruto huku Kenya, Raila Odinga naye akakataa, kaona wewe hiyo issue State House bana itaniletea mambo mengi sana. So ndo kitu ambacho nahisi. Waona hisi ni kitu kipi ambacho kilitokea? Tumsikilize hapa Raila Odinga akiwa Homa Bay, alinyosha maelezo mpaka Z. Tazama mwanzo mwisho, lakini ukimaliza subscribe ili uendelee kupata taarifa nyingi na mpya kila wakati. Bye bye.
Horizontally, counties have to spread the benefits of development to regions and communities that have been left behind. Vertically, our actions must meet expectations about quality of life, services, and infrastructure. If the infrastructure for vertical and horizontal growth is not laid early, we will replicate the uneven development that has dogged the national government since independence 60 years ago. Homa Bay has identified agro-allied industries, that is fishing and aquaculture, tourism, and growing of cotton and other crops for their value chain to help spur prosperity. I concur that agriculture and its value chain and blue economy are holders of real potential for the takeoff. However, to unlock opportunities in agriculture, some radical and bold measures will have to be taken. We are never going to feed ourselves or commercialize agriculture until we wean our people out of subsistence farming. A situation where food shortage is a persistent feature, even among people who identify themselves as farmers, points to something very wrong. Land holding sizes continue to decline. Yield per hectare continues to decline, yet population is rising. It won't be easy. It was never easy to introduce large-scale farming even in Europe or in South Korea. But we must start laying down the infrastructure for the large-scale agriculture in this region. That means educating our people and also laying the ground for irrigation and mechanization of agriculture. You have to diversify and explore other crops. To this end, I appreciate the effort by Homa Bay and neighbors to venture into crops for edible oils like palm, soya, groundnuts, and renewed interest in the cotton. This region once had a thriving edible oils industry that processed sunflower, cotton, and groundnuts. We need them back, and we're happy with efforts which are being made by Homa Bay County here. When we were growing up as small children, cotton was the main cash crop in this region. And there were ginaries in Busia, Luanda, in Siaya, Nderi, in Homa Bay here, and Kindu Bay. There were ginaries here. And women used to take their cotton to the market on market days. And they had mobile weighing scales. You would weigh the cotton, and Mama would be paid cash on delivery. And she would then transit to go and buy fish or meat in the market. That died when we introduced the monopoly of cotton lint and seed marketing board. Cotton was delivered to the board, no payment. 6 months later, children were being sent away from school. That is why people stopped doing cotton. We need to have science work for our people. In this regard, I propose that county governments be given more say, access, and roles in agricultural research bodies, such as the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, Kenya Seed Company, the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, and Agricultural Finance Corporation. The idea is to ensure that research and finance reach smallholder farmers who are the bulk work of our agriculture. Currently, there is inadequate flow of information to farmers about the new crop and livestock varieties. Fishing has sustained our communities in this region for generations. It is currently under serious strain, partly because we are relying on the same tools our ancestors used. In addition, the lakes, the swamps, and rivers have been polluted and degraded, making them unable to produce enough fish for domestic use and commercial purposes. We have to invest in the quality of the water environment of the region's rivers, the lakes, even as we develop fish ponds and cages. Let us invest in the restoration of the indigenous plantations of our rivers, swamps, and lake basins that are known to support the natural breeding of fish, just like they are doing with mangroves at the coast. I wish to see our counties take the lead in restoring the indigenous vegetation along our water bodies. I have been encouraged by efforts to market this region as a potential tourism destination. Homa Bay has put a considerable effort on the Ruma National Park and its treasures. And you have seen here that this is the only home for the roan antelope. We need to put more joint effort on tourism and go beyond wildlife. But I'm just about to get you an investor in tourism to come and put up a lodge at Ruma National Park. Let us venture into areas like nature, water sports, and cultural and heritage tourism. Today, the national government does not view Lake region as a tourist destination that warrants government support and investment. The region does not feature much in activities and allocations related to tourism. We must not wait. County governments here need to take it upon themselves and be more aggressive in marketing the region in local and international markets. These efforts will, however, not yield much without the hard infrastructure of roads, electricity, and internet connectivity. transport infrastructure remains poor along the lake basin. Majority of roads across the region are unpaved. Despite improvements, electricity is still mostly unavailable, unreliable, and very expensive. Most people are unable to afford electricity connection costs. Collaboration between the county and national governments has resulted in improved air transport through rehabilitation of airstrips. But much more needs to be done, especially with regard to roads and electricity. One of the solutions to the infrastructure problem is for the national government to surrender more functions to the counties. And I'll give an example. The Kenya Rural Roads Authority, KERA, the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation all need to be handed over to counties. And I want to say this without fear of contradiction. I was the Minister of Roads, Housing, and Public Works. I'm the one who introduced Kura, KERA, and KENHA. But that was under a unified system of government. With a devolved system of government, you don't need KERA, you don't need Kura. All of them should be surrendered to the county governments. Freeing these bodies would empower counties to develop low-cost alternative sources of energy like solar parks, wind energy, geothermal power that is abundant in this lake region. This will also increase rural access to electricity and spur the expansion of the road network of all Class C and D roads to bitumen standards. The overall aim is increased trade and investment in the region that requires a different kind of infrastructure, removing the barriers that prevent the attainment of full potential. As much as possible, counties have to reform and deregulate in order to perform. Make your regulations and processes to compare with the best in the world. Do not bog the people down with taxes and levies, rules and regulations that only make doing business more difficult. Make doing business not only easier but also cheaper. I encourage you to make doing business smarter by insisting on IT-based transactions, particularly in the procurement of goods and services and payment for government services. At all times, we must never forget that much as we need to grow and be competitive, you have an obligation to be caring and compassionate. Create the infrastructure for the people to take care of themselves, then watch the people rise. I am very encouraged by what you have seen today here in Homa Bay. And I just want to end by encouraging the governor. She has started well in what she's doing. She needs to continue and will get all our support. We are committed to supporting all our governors in the Azimio counties and also those with whom we have coalitions, like in Nairobi County, the governor of Nairobi. We will give you all the support that you require to succeed. We want to ensure that what we set out to achieve is achieved through the county governments. But where we are right now, we are at a very, very critical stage. You will know that we had NADCO, which was chaired by my colleague Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Mr. Chungwa, they produced a report, and that report, I'm told, was been approved by Parliament. That report should be handed over to us formally. And once it's handed over to us, we will ensure that it is implemented fully, all the recommendations in that report. Secondly, let me respond to some issues being raised, some fears. I'm not going anywhere. I'm around. I've been running around trying to get support for different heads of states. I was with some in Namibia just the other day. And I went to the president of Uganda after I talked to him to go and ask for his support. And then we met there with Mr. Ruto, who had also gone there, to talk about the issues they're having with oil, the G2G. He was his minister for energy. So after we talked about my candidature, they talked about the issue of oil among themselves. But I asked for their support, and both of them agreed that they would support me. President Museveni said he would be the one to propose me as the chair of African Union Commission. And I said, thank you very much. But I'm not going away. Addis Ababa, as Charity said, is only 2 hours away from Nairobi. I'm available. Whenever I'm called, I will answer. I'm ready to work with you people. But what is important is that we must ensure that what we set out to do is eventually achieved and accomplished. We had said, and you also, some of you may be forgetting, we said that we are unbogable. We are unbogable. We are also unpangarable. We cannot be pangared. Who can pangoa? Who can pangoa? Who can bogoa? Who can bogoa? We are unbogable. Therefore, have no fear at all. We are unbogable, and we will get there. Thank you very much.
There's a gift for you, so you will just receive it down here.
Okay.
Then we can take a picture with you, and then we just.
With this report?